Welcome guys, in today's video we are going to be talking about sound design. I'm going to show you the importance of it and how to apply it in your videos. Now, to give you guys something to digest, your videos can be done so well visually, but if the sound design is bad, the entire video fails, because people don't just only hear audio, they feel audio. It messes with their emotions, it influences them throughout the video, it helps with their retention rate. So you need to make sure you are taking sound into consideration when editing your videos. So to give you guys an overview, I will be showing you a video that I've edited in the past, and I'll show you what it's like without sound design and with sound design. And I will let you guys know my 3-step process when it comes to sound design. Now, here's a clip that I've edited for a certain client in the past. You guys might know who she is. Her name is Laura, and I'm going to show you this video without sound design. And then once we watch it, we understand it, then we're going to watch the video again, but with sound design on. Now, let's give it a watch.
Proximity to people is going to make you like them. My mom took my SIM card away when I moved to the UK. She took it from my phone. She showed it to me one last time. She cut it, and it's like, this is the end of your old life. And what that signified to her was me leaving every single friend that I had in Mexico.
So far, I've only shown you 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and it felt bland. The visuals, they looked good. There were edits, there were visual effects, but it felt that there was something missing. Now, for those of you that might think, well, it doesn't sound like there's anything missing, let's watch this same clip again, but with sound design added to it. And you'll see how the clip completely changes. I'll play the majority of the clip just to give you guys an idea, but here you guys go.
Proximity to people is going to make you like them. My mom took my SIM card away when I moved to the UK. She took it from my phone. She showed it to me one last time. She cut it, and it's just like, this is the end of your old life. And what that signified to her was me leaving every single friend that I had in Mexico behind, because she knew that they were pushing me down instead of making me the woman that she wanted me to become. So I started from scratch. I literally stopped talking to every single person that I had met until 15 and created a whole new circle of friends that were the...
See? Now with that, you see a huge difference. That entire part changed significantly once sound design was implemented to it. The visuals again may look amazing, but once I've incorporated sound effects, then the entire thing felt different. You end up feeling the video instead of just watching it and feeling nothing. This one little change, not little, but this one change completely changes the game. Now, before I get into the specifics, I want to show you guys what type of sound effects I've used and what you need to have. This is called the whoosh effect. This type of effect is used for any type of movement, whether it's zoom ins, swipe animations, or any of the sort. You would use a whoosh effect. Now, the next effect that I'm going to play is called a riser. This effect is what you would use to build suspense. Let me show you. This is a slow build up. Listen to it. That's what you would use to build suspense in any type of situation. So that's another good sound effect. Now, the next type of sound effect will be an impact effect. So hit, impact, these type of effects will be built for reveals. Anything crazy happening, you'd have an impact effect to show that dramatic effect. Now that we covered those 3 effects, those are like the key effects for me. And those are the effects that you would need fundamentally for a lot of type of videos. Now, the next type of effects I'm going to show you are effects that you would add on as an extra layer to your videos. Let me show you. This type of effect is a flash effect. These effects will be adding onto your videos and giving it a whole new layer to it. That's how it sounds. Now, the next effect is a camera shutter effect that I used. And it's all these small little details that end up giving your video a whole different feel. Now remember, we had the fundamental sounds, the whooshes and the risers and the impacts. Majority of videos would need those type of sound effects. But the next type of sound effects that I've shown you already would be giving your videos another layer on top. Anytime you hear a gap in a video and you think, okay, I can fill it in with sound design, then add it, as long as it is necessary. So I want to emphasize, before you start thinking about adding sound effects to your videos, you need to create a folder with all your sound effects and label every single one of them. This helps out so much in the long run. So inside this folder, I've labeled them in each category, like the ones I've just shown you. A whoosh, a riser, have my music, my impact, my flash effect, my click effect. I have these on deck, so then when I add it to the video, I don't have to rush around searching out where to find those sound effects because I have everything in my library already. Now, a really good website to grab sound effects would be a website called freesound.org. This website, you can grab sound effects for free. And that's why this website is amazing. So any type of sound effect you want, search up whoosh, you'll find your whooshes over here. If you want a riser, like I mentioned, you'll find your risers over here. You can download them for free and you got an entire sound library on deck. Now here's the important part. Don't just download everything you find. Go through 100 sound effects if you have to, but only keep the best 10 in each folder. That gives you a focus pack with around 60 sounds. The quality of your sound design is always determined by the quality of your effects. If you collect the best of the best, you won't need to keep updating your library later. So make sure you collect the best type of sound effects to add into your folders. Now let's break this down, starting with the first important thing, which is movement. Movements without sound feel empty. So let me show you a zoom in effect that I have done without the sound effect and then with the sound effect, so you understand what I'm talking about. I want you to focus on this image over here.
That they were pushing me down instead of making me.
Let's play it again.
Were pushing me down instead of making me.
You can't hear anything, so it feels flat, right? Now let's listen to it with the whoosh effect.
They were pushing me down instead of making me the woman. Pushing me down instead of making me.
See, now this sounds so much better. With the whoosh, it changes a lot. You need to use whooshes with movement. Any sort of movement, you'd use whooshes. So now let me show you how I've aligned the sound effect so you can feel its maximum. With this movement, what I want to do is I want to align the highest peak of the sound effect. So if you zoom in over here, that is the highest peak. Don't know what happened there. And then line it up with the fastest point of the movement. The fastest point of this movement would be in the middle. This would be where you can see the most motion blur. So around the middle is where you'd see it the most. Around there. That way you can align the fastest point of the movement with the loudest part of the sound. It will make them stand out 10 times more.
Pushing me down instead of making.
Because now, imagine I misplaced it a little bit. So let's do, maybe put it back a little bit, I guess. Maybe right like that.
Pushing me down instead of making. Pushing me down instead of making.
It starts off way too early. Now, if you had it like normal, like I had before,
Pushing me down instead of making.
it sounds way on beat. This is why it's very important. You want to align the highest peak of your sound with the fastest part of the movement. That's how you handle your whooshes and your movement. Now, just a quick one. I don't use this principle with just the whooshes. I use it for any type of sound effect. And the main thing is you need to time your sound effects correctly. If you mistime it, then it will feel weird, extremely offbeat. So having it on beat would be the best choice. Now that I've shown you how whooshes work, you add them with movement, it gives the movement energy. We're going to move on to the next part of the sound effects, which is texture. So this would include your risers, this would include impact effects, this would include any other type of effects that would add texture to it. So let me show you guys now. Now we're going to move on to risers. Risers, as I said before, add suspension. At any point in your videos, you feel like something big is going to happen, the suspense before it is added with a riser. Now, let me show you an example without the riser first.
Is going to people. Proximity to people. Is going to.
See, no riser, it feels flat. Now, let me show you guys with the riser.
Proximity to people. Is going to make you like them.
See, now with the riser added, there's a feeling of suspense. It's like something is coming. Now there are stronger risers. This one is a shorter riser because in a short form video, my intentions with this video was to keep the pace really fast. So I don't want to spend too long with it. But this is an example of how you can build suspense. Let me show you again.
Is going.
It's a build up to something. And then after that, you want to have your impacts. Now, it's a good thing that I'm showing you impacts now because you can mix it in with your risers. Remember how I said impacts are for dramatic moments. With the risers, you can build up to that dramatic moment, and straight after, you can have an impact effect that will then settle it. The dramatic moment is here. That's how you combine the two. Let me show you now. This is without the impact sound.
Is going to make you like them. Is going to make you like them.
So with the riser,
Is going to make
the impact. Now, if you want a stronger impact, let me move this one down and you'll see it in action way more.
is going to make you like them.
You see that?
Is going to make you like them.
It builds up suspense, and then once the moment is there, you have an impact for dramatic tension. That's how you can mix the two. Now let me show you the next type of sounds. The next type of sound effects is where you can get creative. These texture sound effects would add so much more to your video. You've added your risers, you've added your whooshes, you've added your impacts, but now it's time to have a bit more fun with your sound effects and start getting more creative. Now I'm going to show you a certain part of the video, right, where I've used a sound effect for a small animation that I've done. I'm going to show you the animation without the sounds, and then I'll show you the animation with the sound effects. So, you see that? You can't hear anything, you can't feel anything. These are just there. Visually, cool, it looks cool. But if you can't hear anything, dead. Now let's listen to it with the sound effects.
Is going.
See? It feels way more better. These little sound effects, these small little details change things so much in the grand scheme of things. When people are watching the videos, they understand you paid attention to detail. Small things like these change everything about a video. These were just little shutter effects. This, look. Something like this, I've repeated it 3 times. Over here. And I've timed it when the picture comes up with the actual sound effect. You see that? So much better.
Is going to make you like them. My mom took.
Another example would be here.
Created a whole new circle of friends that where this.
That's cool. That's all right. Yet again, it feels flat. Now let's listen to it with the sound effects.
Created a whole new circle of friends that where the smartest kids are.
See, the littlest of details change a lot. That is why sound design is very important. It changes how you feel, how the audience feels. I'm emphasizing this so much to you guys, and there's a reason behind it. The one thing when it comes to creating the content, right, you want to keep people in the video. You want to increase retention. How are you going to increase retention? You want to keep their attention, and through little changes in the videos, like I've explained in a Premiere Pro video, visually, that's cool. But also, audio is important. You want changes in the audio, and that will keep them in. Not just by looking at the video, by listening and feeling the video. Very important you guys understand this and apply this to your next videos as well. And another thing I want to show you just really quickly, when you're transitioning to new clips and you want to have a sound effect at the start of the clip, very important, you line it up perfectly. Like this.
Shaped the person I am today. And that's why I would.
Any type of transition you want to create, as long as the sound effect is in line with the split of the video, then
Shaped the person I am today.
It would sound amazing. So make sure you guys don't forget that little detail there. Now, sound design isn't just effect, it's also the music. In this edit, I experimented with different tracks. I used high energy music, I used really low energy music. You need to match the music to your visuals. That's why I've tested out so many different types of music, and I found one that fits the pacing of your video. The pacing of the music matching with the pacing of the video changes a lot, and it matters so much. Now that you have your music and your sound effects on your timeline, and you know what, you're cool with it, they're the correct ones. If you want to determine how loud they are, just go to properties up here and increase or decrease the volume, then you can match it. Don't make your sound effects way too loud, because then they'll start feeling repetitive, really repetitive, and it will start to get annoying. So keep them at a certain volume, kind of low, so that it doesn't take over everything in a video. Because remember, we don't want the attention solely on the sound design. Let the sound design be something that supports the video. Don't let it be the main focus. In some videos, depending on the context, if you want to make a video purely focusing on sound design, that's a whole different thing. But if you want to use sound design to perfect your video, which you should be doing, then don't make it too loud. Now that we covered everything, I want to tell you guys this. The most mistakes I see people doing is, first of all, their music and the sound effects being too loud, like I just explained, and also overusing sound effects. You don't need to overuse it. It doesn't need to be in every single cut. Every single piece of movement doesn't need a whoosh. It adds onto it, it makes it sound amazing, and it gives you a feeling, but you do not overuse it because it's going to feel cheesy, and nobody wants that. So remember, the best type of sound design is clean, balanced, and subtle, not too harsh. There we go. Sound design is what makes people feel your edit. Once you master that, you are set. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one.